Happy summer! It's July, and whether you choose to spend your free time traveling on vacation or sitting at home marathoning some games you haven't had a chance to play yet, we've got you covered.
That's right. We're going to talk about some highly anticipated games that have finally released this month, like Fire Emblem Three Houses, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 The Black Order, and Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers.
And of course, we've not forgotten about all of the great games that dropped last month, like Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, Super Mario Maker 2, and Persona Q2 New Cinema Labyrinth.
We'll also take a look at some exciting upcoming titles that we are all so eager to get our hands on, as well as PC gaming accessories, collectibles, and a whole lot more on this episode of GameStop TV. I'm Melanie.
I'm Adrian.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Janessa.
And if you're looking for something to play, we've got a few suggestions. Let's kick the show off by talking about some of our most highly anticipated games from last month's E3 that you can pre-order right now.
For me, I gotta go with the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and this is a massive remake of Final Fantasy VII that will release as a series. It's just that big. It's more than one game. Yes, and each entry will be a full standalone game too. So the first game is set to release on March 3rd, 2020 with 2 Blu-ray disc worth of content.
Wow.
That is a lot.
That's a lot of
That is a
content.
lot.
And the combat has been completely overhauled with a mix of real-time action as well as an updated active time battle system, which was shown at E3, and it looks glorious, and I'm jealous because, Adrian, you got to play it.
I did.
What were your thoughts?
It's outstanding as you would think it would be.
Yeah.
You see a lot of familiar areas. It was really sweet. It was challenging. The battle system works perfectly. The combat was fantastic.
Nice. And now, of course, this is a retelling of the original Final Fantasy VII. So whether you've experienced this game in the past and want to relive it in a more grand and breathtaking way than ever, or you never got your hands on this legendary classic and want to dive in for the first time, I think it's safe to say that this game has us all very excited.
There's a lot to be excited about for this game, right?
That's right.
I think there's a different temperament you need to have for a game like this. We forget how big Midgar is when you first arrive there. We're talking about 8 sectors, which means 8 slums. It's a huge starting area.
And I think even people who haven't played know the characters.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like they're so iconic. So everyone's like, oh man, now I get to jump in and see what their stories are about.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the characters in other games.
That too, absolutely.
I mean, I, for one that haven't played Final Fantasy VII, don't hurt me. I have played
I
Kingdom
didn't
Hearts.
beat it. I didn't beat it, but that's where I first saw Cloud, right?
Right,
Kingdom Hearts.
right, exactly.
Oh yeah, that's why he was in that with his little bandage sword.
Yeah, his little bandage sword.
All right, now Alicia, what's your game?
All right, well, I have to go with The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Now, this is a remake of the beloved Link's Awakening on Game Boy, but now it's releasing on the Nintendo Switch. And I personally never got to play Link's Awakening on Game Boy because my parents never gave me a Game Boy as a kid.
Aww.
I know, super sad, right? So I am really stoked to finally be able to play this game on the Switch. And it's really charming. It has the top-down perspective that we're used to from the Game Boy, but now it is in this adorable, cute 3D art style that I just cannot get over. So the main story is that Link is stranded on an island when his ship gets caught in a storm, and after being rescued, he begins his adventure to find the 8 instruments of the sirens in order to awaken Koholin's legendary windfish that lives in a giant egg for some reason.
Oh, wow.
I never understood that, but you know, storytelling. And it's got everything you'd expect from Link's Awakening. It's better than ever. There's puzzles, there's action, there's revamped mini games, and of course, collectible room pieces that you can use to create your own dungeons. And this is called Chamber Dungeons. And it's really great because as you go through and you defeat your dungeons, you're gonna get rooms from those dungeons and you can build your own. And that really excites me.
That is really cool.
'Cause
And I love puzzles. Puzzles are like my favorite part about video games. It's one reason why I love Tomb Raider so much. And I mean, obviously, the Zelda series is no stranger to puzzles. So I'm really excited to dive in with this one for sure.
And if you guys were a fan of the Game Boy Color version of this game, there is a color dungeon, which is the color dungeon from the Game Boy Color. So that's really cool.
Awesome.
I'm kind of curious to see how they integrate the controls. I mean, with the Game Boy, you had 2 buttons plus start and select. Now with the Switch, you have a bevy of buttons to choose from. And I'm wondering how it's going to make it easier the entire time.
Probably going to feel a little more fluid, right? You'll be able to switch between your sword and your shield a little faster. You're not going to have to just, choose.
True.
Well, anyways, Janessa, what's your pick?
So I was really impressed by Watch Dogs Legion. This is the 3rd installment in the Watch Dogs series, and it's a sequel to Watch Dogs 2. And Legion takes place in a sort of fictional version of London, and the most incredible thing about this is that you have the option to recruit anyone to join the resistance. And I mean anyone. Whether you want to get like an elite group of spies, a party of misfits, or maybe you just really think that grandmas would be really great in your DedSec team.
What?
Yeah, your options are limitless because if you see a character, then they are recruitable and they could be on your team. But you're gonna have to be careful because this game features permanent deaths.
Oh.
So you recruit your favorite person, you grow to love them, and then they might die, and that's it for them.
That's sad.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to switch to a different recruit. So that's like super, super cool. I really like that idea. And once you recruit a character, they are assigned to one of 3 classes. You have a combat class, a stealth class, or a hacking, and they each have their own upgrades that you could level through by completing missions and activities. They're gonna get some skills that you could choose. And this game also features cooperative multiplayer, which allows up to 4 players to work together across both single player and multiplayer modes.
There we go.
There are 4 of us.
There we go.
That?
Perfect.
Just saying.
We can all play together, that would be awesome.
Grandma Squad?
All right, I'm down for the Grandma Squad.
One cool thing in the video, the Ubisoft E3 presentation, there was one character I remember seeing, his name was Derek, and one of his stat bonuses was he had 100% damage increase as like his stat bonus,
Right.
but he's an adrenaline junkie, so his downside was that he could die at any time.
Oh,
So he's like the literal glass cannon.
yeah.
I kind of want to see how well you can go in the game before he just goes,
Dead.
So Adrian, what game are you most excited about coming from E3?
That was a lot of E3 and a lot to see, but honestly, I gotta go with The Outer Worlds. I mean, this is a brand new single-player, first-person sci-fi RPG. From Presidium, the same Presidium that, I don't know, did Coder 2, Fallout New Vegas, and Private Division in this futuristic setting where megacorporations have begun colonizing and terraforming alien planets. You get to create your own character from scratch, as you may get from most Obsidian games, and you get to find out what are these corporations up to now you've come out of a cryo sleep. You've been asleep for a while, what's happening? And with any Obsidian game, I keep going back to that because there's a certain theme here. Every decision matters, which means all those dialogue choices that you get and you get to choose from, you gotta really figure out which ones are most important. I mean, if you make yourself a low intellect class, you actually have a stupid answer option you can choose from.
I love that.
That's how detailed it is. You can also customize your weapons with elemental damage for even greater power. What makes the combat so dynamic is that you can choose to engage head-on, or you can use stealth and your skills of persuasion to avoid combat altogether.
Yeah, and I really like the decisions that you make playing a big role in the story. It's scary, it makes me nervous, but it adds so much more to the game, which I think is great.
I like the idea of not going back after making a bad decision and going, well, I guess I live here now.
Yep, I gotta live with this. I did this to myself.
I'm with you. It makes me nervous.
Yeah.
I'm like, too many decisions in a
That's
game.
too much like real life.
Yeah,
It
That's
is.
exactly how I feel. Well, if you're as excited as we are about these games, talk to a guest advisor at your local GameStop store or head over to GameStop.com to get your pre-order in today. You can also check out tons of other upcoming games at GameStop.com/coming soon.
There's lots more GameStop TV ahead, but first, we've got to take a quick break.
We'll be right back.
Thank you for watching GameStop TV. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.